Hey guys, what is up? Andaull here today bringing you guys another video. So, before we get into this video, let's go ahead and talk about something. I want to talk about how you guys have been requesting me to do a lot of cartoon creepypastas. Like, you guys are constantly requesting me to do this. So I have came up with a way for me to still be able to do this and me still be able to enjoy it while I also do the other things I enjoy doing, like the murder investigations and stuff like that. So let's talk about this real quick before we get into this, okay? So I'm willing to do cartoon creepypastas, but I'm going to do my own spin on it. So what I'm going to be doing is reading these and then leaving my review at the end. And I'm going to be funny about it. Like, I'm not going to be like super mean about it, but I'm going to be mean to where I'm funny. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave my true thoughts and opinions on the creepypasta. Like, if it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. If it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. So, with that being said, if this is something you guys want to see, let me know in the comment section below. I am glad to be back, guys. I want to do 3 videos a week. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. I want to do 3 videos a week. I want to do 1 murder investigation, 1 creepypasta, and possibly 1 troll pasta. So, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And with that said, let's get right into this reading. For the sake of the story, my name's Paul, and like my name, I'm not very unique. I like cartoons, specifically The Loud House. I'm an inspiring reporter and a writer. I have a car, a scrappy apartment, a cushy job at the Woolies, anything I could possibly need. Look, I know this isn't very interesting stuff so far, but trust me, when I say the writing is going somewhere. See, I've worked in retail for, I want to say, a decade? But that's not the point. No, the point here is that you come across a lot of strange folks in that window of time. But the strangest guy came to my kiosk about a month ago, and I remember it like a goddamn picture book. I was scanning items, thanking people for shopping at Woolworths, not even bothering to look at their faces. My philosophy when going to work was to never waste time with small talk. The entrance and exit is right next to me. I'd like to take advantage of that sooner rather than later. But that was until I saw a blank DVD cover slide underneath my scanner. So I looked up, about to tell the guy that just because there's no cover doesn't mean he can't pay. Only to be trapped in shock and confusion, the guy managed to keep his dirty brown hair and beard relatively presentable. But his brown, torn, and dusty trench coat and pants, and his bare, dirty toes? Not so much. Same story for his gaunt, downtrodden expression. "What are you looking at?" the dirty man grumbled, grimacing at me with his surprising pearly whites. I was just wondering if this DVD was yours, or "Give me that back," the guy yelled as he snatched the blank DVD right out of my fingers, leaving a gross stickiness behind. "How did you swipe that from me, biggest pocket?" I just shot him the same perplexed glare he gave me. I don't know, dude. You're asking me," I pleaded. Yeah, sure, sticky fingers," the man growled under his breath, making me chuckle nervously. I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't rob you. Maybe it just fell out." "Shut up. You don't have nothing, so don't say nothing." "Alright, what's going on here?" my manager barged in, probably getting sick of watching the commotion via camera. "This kid's got sticky fingers, tried to swipe my prized possession." The man raised his prized possession high and mighty. "Is that right?" "Yeah," the man proclaimed as my manager scanned the dirty man head to literal toe. "Well, I don't know if you've skimmed over the dress code lately, but yeah, this ain't it, pal." My manager gestured over toward the dress code sign by the sliding door entrance, making his staunch demeanor evaporate into fright instantly. He stumbled for a reply initially, but the man managed, but this is the last place I can even get stuff. Everyone else kicked me out, please." "Hey, you can come back, just not like this," my manager clarified. "But this is all I have." "Well then I guess you're not coming back for a long time, huh?" my manager concluded, making the man sag in defeat, carrying himself out the door, not before shooting one more glare at me before trudging out. What a nut job, am I right? Anyways, next time you have trouble, I won't be there to fix it. Otherwise, keep up the good work, Paul. Thanks, sir. I chuckled nervously as the manager patted my back, going on his way, leaving me to my clouded thoughts as I stared slack-jawed at the sliding door entrance. Yeah, the guy was a little nutty, but not a nut job, although I wasn't quite sure. I'm not certain even as I'm writing this, but there was one thing I was sure about. I needed that guy's story. Sir, can I go on break? Did you have one already, Paul? The manager quizzed. No. I smiled, raising my hands unsurely, making the manager purse his lips in thought for a moment. All right, but if you aren't back in 30 minutes, I know, I'll be fired, sir, I dismissed, practically throwing myself out of the store. Skulking the car park, I managed to catch the strange man just about to leave. Hey, I cried, making the man turn side to side in confusion, to which I groaned in frustration. Over here, I cried out, finally catching his full attention. You wanted me gone, and now you want me back? You had your chance, sticky fingers. What? But I didn't... I just want to talk, I beckoned. The man stroked his beard for a moment before turning the corner, ushering me to follow, to which I was greeted by him lying on his back on a patch of walkway grass. So, sticky fingers, okay, for the last goddamn time, I didn't steal that DVD, okay? So just stop calling me that, please. Only if you make up for getting me kicked out. That's still your fault, though. Fine then, Paul. If you're just gonna tell me shit I already know, then you can fuck right off. I'll be out of your hair for good that way. The man bargained, making me glower as I turned back to the sliding door entrance, just around the corner. And then I gazed back at the downtrodden before me, who brought out a lighter but couldn't find a cigarette, so instead, he pulled out his DVD cover, his sullen face reflecting over the cover. You really care about that thing, don't you? The man didn't answer, still coddling his DVD. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. Just a few more hours left. Stay here, whatever your name is. Joe. It's Joe, the man replied meekly. Oh, well, I'll come back later, Joe. Promise. I promised as I went back to work. After my shift, I kept my promise to the syllable, and lucky enough, so did Joe, greeting me with his glum face, which lit up just barely at the sight of me standing above him. You came back, Joe remarked cheerfully. I promised, didn't I? But anyways, now that I've got you right where I want you, I began taking my seat next to Joe. What's your deal? Startling poor Joe. My deal? Yeah, you know, your DVD thing, your clothes, your weirdly clean teeth. Alright, settle down, kiddo. You want my story? I nodded in elation, making Joe chuckle. Well, you gotta do something for me first, Joe elaborated, making my elated smile dissipate into crippling worry. It's not like I can just hand out freebies here, you hear? Yeah, I hear, I grimaced. So, what's the catch? I dared to ask, already regretting everything. Could you give me a ride home? Here's where the place is, Joe said as he pulled out a mint condition photo of where he apparently lived, placing it into my hand before putting it down. Cocking my head to the side, I noticed that it had his address and phone number on it. Consider it me business card. Close to the end of our rather arduous drive, so you're telling me you worked for Cartoon Network, but then jumped to Nick when shit hit the fan for you? No. I worked at Nickelodeon, but got the sack for being a bit too pushy with my ideas. At least that's what Chris told me, right before stealing my ideas next time I turned on the television. Joe lambasted, putting me in a stupor of something. Geez, you sure you're paying attention, sticky fingers? Now make a left turn. Alright, but Chris, sack of shitto? Didn't you mean Chris Sav? Stop, Joe screamed, pointing a filthy finger in my face, startling me so bad I nearly hit a roadside pole. Ratcheting my head around, I met Joe pointing at me with his snarling face. That's not his name, Joe uttered. But I will never under any reason say that name that way, Joe cut off, unfazed by nearly killing us both over a name. Although, Joe did see the confusion on my face clear as day apparently, thus flipping his demeanor completely as he shone his pearly smile at me. Even having the gall to laugh at me, much to my obvious chagrin, was so funny. Sorry, it's just I forgot to tell you why I hate that cunt's name. Well, you know, besides him stealing me ideas from me and harassing the ladies with his ruggish charm, ugh, Joe answered, making me raise an eyebrow. He stole your show? No, I said he stole me ideas. Anyways, we're here now, so what's it matter, Joe proclaimed, already getting out the car. Wait, we are? Yeah, kid, take a look outside. To his word, I stepped outside my car, but I weren't completely sold. So taking out his business card, I compared it to the apartment door in front of me. Turns out it was only slightly more dirty and run down than on the picture. Well, looks like we're done here. Was nice knowing you though. Paul, was it? Whatever, keep the picture, Joe declared as he made his way up the stingy apartment steps. But wait, Joe, I want to know more. Give me a call tomorrow. I'm done with you and your fucking voice, Joe called out before slipping by into the apartment, shutting the door on me. Pretty grateful, isn't he? Well, that's what I thought too as I began storming back into my car, only for Joe to pop back out one last time, storming out and into my face. On second thought, take this. I don't want you to call me tomorrow, Joe proclaimed, chucking that blank DVD cover of his at me. Much to my shock, I picked it up reluctantly with my hand still holding his business card. Isn't this your prized possession or something? It is. It's me best work. Supposed to be a standalone thing. But it's got some of the same characters like Lori, who's still the oldest, Luann and Lynn Jr. are buddies, Lena's the youngest at 6. Wait, younger than Lisa? Yeah, she's 13, same as the other 3. Anything else you wanted to annoy me about? Oh, and before I forget, they've all got varying English accents, supposed to come from their mother who's from London. Oh, how I love London. Anyways, what else you want? Well, I don't know if you noticed, but aren't all those the ones named after his sisters? I asked smugly, expecting Joe to not take that question well. But instead, he paused for a moment, nodding slowly in agreement. Yeah, they were named after him, huh? You know what, Paul? I think you just made me like the film way more, Joe remarked deviously with his toothy grin. I was a little creeped out, but I tried not to show it. Well, thanks. You, want me to give it back afterwards? Nah, seen it too many times. However, there is a catch. You ain't allowed to redistribute it or do any pirating bullshit. Otherwise, not only you'll be fucked, but I'll be fucked 10 times harder on top. You understand, Paul? Shit. Well, I should have figured as much. To be honest, this whole disclaimer Joe gave is the reason I'm writing this story out anyway. But Joe is right. I would be fucked if I showed actual footage of what his short film was. And that's ignoring Joe's history with Nick and, Chris. Luckily, that guy is gone, but so long as Nickelodeon and Viacom are picking up his stack, I don't think the footage would last very long anyway. Great. Now get out of here, kid. We're done here, for real this time. Oh, and give me that photo back. What? Hey, you said I could have it, I yelped as he snatched the photo from my grasp. Changed my mind. Now scram. It's dangerous to be out here on a Friday night. And that was the last I ever heard of Joe before he vanished back into his apartment, leaving me with a dirty car and even dirtier DVD cover and even more questions. But those questions could wait. I had a film to watch. Now, I obviously can't show any footage of the film I saw, but I can show you its cover, which, as advertised, is completely blank. Nothing but the DVD inside and all the suspense in the world. I'll try to be as lush with the description as possible, as I'd rather all the time spent studying this thing not go to waste. So sorry if this retelling comes off as a bit pretentious. Alright guys, this has been Andaull with the first part of this. So I just decided, like while we were recording this, that I'm going to do this in 2 separate parts, because part 1 was like the thing I just read you guys. It was like the prequel end of the story. The next part is gonna end up being like 45 minutes long by itself. I don't want to make this video like an hour and a half long. So the next part will be out probably later this week, actually, because I'm probably just gonna record it right after I do this. But I might as well split it up into 2 videos, that way so the video isn't like ridiculously long, right? So part 1, part 2 will be out later this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button below, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Snapchat, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Paul. So what do you want me to say now?